Hi everyone, I'm Kate. Welcome to today's practice. It's going to be a gentle flow and option to use a couple of blocks. Always handy to put under the hands at any time. And if you've got a folded blanket, you could use that as well to either sit on, kneel on, anything like that is fine. These are all optional items. I'm using a bolster to sit on today. And so do arrive, get whatever you need to get. You can always pause the video and just bring yourself to a seated position. Any comfortable seated position is great. And we're going to pause a little bit today to kind of draw our energy inwards. So just close your eyes for the moment. There's a full moon out there at the moment, so we're going to weave in a sense of connection and serenity into our practice. So not going very fast. You can give yourself a massage all over. Just dumbing down that nervous system a little bit. Maybe give your belly a little rub, the lower back. Anything that feels spacious, roll the shoulders around. Invite a little bit of intuitive movement into your practice today. And rather being taken off by that energy of the moon, see if we can bathe in its presence and bring back a sense of connection to nature. So go ahead, we're going to breathe here, just take a nice inhale and an exhale, just floating the arms out to the side. Breathing down into the basin of the pelvis, broadening, widening, creating those conditions for the air to flow freely. And you can copy me if you like by bringing more of an energy to the breath as you exhale, bringing one fist on top of the palm as you draw the pelvic floor, sweep it in and up, lighting up those deeper core muscles as you exhale. So inhaling and exhaling, reaching up to the sky, little stretch, and then fists of fire towards the belly, towards the waist. Inhale to reach up, and then exhale. That's it. You can be a little bit more expressive here if you wanted to. Really open the mouth and big exhalations. Reach it up and take it down. Good. As you remind yourself to bring that strength from within. So a little breath of freedom. Bring the hands forward and opening out, lubricating the spine a little bit, opening through the heart space and the back of the heart space into or between the shoulder blades, interlacing the fingers and then just pressing away here. So creating some space, drawing up through the front, all with ease. Open out, lifting the chest a little bit, and then we're going to plant one hand down, sweep the opposite arm up and round, create a little side stretch, feeling it into the sides of the waist and the hip. Take a nice breath, a little wave up through the crown, up through the center, draw that energy upwards. And then we're just going to repeat that to the other side. So just floating the arm up. Bring a connection to those sides of the body, maybe even into the neck as well. So just a gentle stretch. Just be kind today with your body. Release the arms down and then just give yourself a nice big hug. Really hug yourself in and just breathing into that back of the heart space. Okay, so now we're going to move anything from underneath us. So I'm just going to put my bowls to the side and come into a kneeling position. I'm not using my blanket, but you could use your folded blanket here or even just spread the blanket out. Placing your hands nice and wide, so really planting through the hands there on your blocks or on the mat. Knees in line with hips. Wave through the spine, Little bend and give through the elbows as you draw to center. And then open out through the collarbones. So just going through your classic cat-cow here. That's it, really lightly as we pull up and creating some space with the breath. Always breath leading our practice. And then create these little waving actions through the spine, again to mobilise all the vertebrae. Maybe moving into the shoulders, into the hips a little bit. And then tucking the toes under, we're going to make our way into a little extended child's pose here. Maybe if this feels okay on your feet to tuck the toes here, it's just stretching into the soles of the feet here, stretching all the tissues of the fascia there, plantar fascia, and then waving in and out of a sort of moving cat-cow. So shoring up through the front and that lower back, deep support. Inhaling, just sending my knees back a bit there, just finding that comfortable space for yourself. So inhaling and exhaling as you ripple over towards the top. And then moving my blocks out a little bit just to create a bit more space so that when I come down, when you come down, you can easily arrive on the mats there. So I am slightly off camera, but I do move. There we go. And just slide those blocks out. Maybe just come up onto the pads of the fingers, lift up through the palms, create a little bit of wavy, gravy movement there as your body skims the earth. So keeping close to the earth, everyone. And building ourselves from our foundations to rise. Draw up through that center as you wave up into a little cobra and then pressing back into a little downward facing dog here. Just pedal the feet, find a little spaciousness, all with ease. Maybe a little bend. We're going to send a little wave over, just gentle cat-cow waves or sort of downward dog waves really. Just very small micro movements to get that deep connection. A bit of strength as you draw up to the center, lengthen out through spine, come back, bend the knees, and then gently step in. Any amount, 3/4 of the way up your mat, somewhere like that. And then grab your elbows, decompress here. Just let the weight of the world drip off the spine. Let everything go, take a couple of breaths there. And then coming up to halfway lift. And fold down, exhale. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, keeping the knees slightly bent if you need to. You can straighten them any amount. Just keep the hips sending back into space there. And then drawing up to center, fiercely pressing through the feet as you unfurl. Reaching up high, fingertips touching, coming down into a little flame mudra. And then opening out into breath of freedom, that gentle undulation, flexion of the spine, extending open. Really give yourself some space and time to flourish here. Bring the hands to center. And let's adjust yourself into your mountain pose and then into that little flame mudra. Find a little balance between the feet and bending through the knees as you send that ripple of energy upwards into your forward fold, back down, and then coming back into downward facing dog. Bend the knees. I'm going to go into a little twisted dog here, so just a gentle movement. This can always be brought down on the knees, of course. Breathing, and then send a little wave over towards the top as we move into slightly more dynamic movement with the Downward dog waves, coming over to 3/4 plank pose. Let the feet go, slide down. Keep good core connection as you slide down. And then as you rise up, imagine you're lifting your belly up off a hot plate. Rise up, strength through the arms. Inhale. Exhale, just stepping forward. Any amount, you can always grab that leg if you need to. Shake out the hands again. Maybe give your wrists a little bit of a cleanse out with the index finger and thumb, and just, go up and down the arm a few times, a little shake out. And then you can always heighten the blocks. For me, this is great. So it gives me a little bit more space. And just waving through that sort of low lunge movement, drawing up to center, keeping that right hip grounded. We're going to sweep back and round and open up into a gentle, gentle twist here. Working into the upper parts of the spine. Look down to the floor or up to the hand. Lift up through the back of the leg. Making your way to the side of your mat. You can take your blocks with you, and we're now going to come into our signature ninja lunges. Bring some space to the area, release off the inner thighs, pressing into one foot than the other, moving the spine around in a direction that feels good, and then send the hips back a little bit in space so that you have that energy and the strength in the thighs to rise up into fists of fire. So inhale, press up. Exhale, draw the fists in towards the waist. Inhale, exhale. Nice bit of energy. Take it out to the side. Now you're going to turn your toes out and then come into that classic warrior two. So if you're facing me, that will be your left foot out in front. Right foot sliding back. Sweep back and round as you kind of come into a side angle. Again, drawing upon that length. Nice deep breath, everyone. So you could look at the hand for more focus, or you could look towards the floor. And then we're going to just sweep the arm across to look at the hand as an option. Bring it back over. Nice little stretch again, and then open. All with ease. This can be lightened slightly by rising up a little bit more, so not quite so deep into the pose. Breath. And then you're going to bring the hands round, cartwheel the hands round. Gently does it as you find that core connection again to sweep the leg in, come into a forward fold for me. Not a lot of room in my cabin here, I'm slightly off camera. Sweep up and inhale at the top. So come back into that mountain pose, all with ease. Move the legs, ground down, sweep and lift. And send the hips back, roll down. Good. Step it back, come into your downward facing dog. So not staying here for too long, we're just sort of moving and flowing. Breathing, connect to that breath, connect to the core, those deep muscles in the spine to support your whole structure. Inhale, sweep the belly in and up. Exhale to press away, to come back, just repeating the whole process now on the other side. So really just working with your own rhythm of your body and your breath here. And then just moving into that sort of moving lunge here. So a little tease through the hamstrings. Invite a little space, a little bit of intuitive movement. And placing your right hand onto the block, we're going to come into that gentle sweeping low lunge with a twist. So twist from the center of your body as opposed to rotating through the hips. See if you can keep the hips grounded here. Nice deep breath, exhale. Good. Tuck the back toe, little hover, just surrender a little bit, and then you're going to turn around towards the back of your mat, or the side of your mat, sorry. Just let me come round to the front and then I can show you. Here we go. And just going back to that little waving action. Maybe you want to free the arms here as well. And then draw to center as you draw up through the body. Inhale, fists of fire. There we go. Really feeling that earth connection. So bringing in those foundations of softening, grounding, and then a little expression. Drawing in through that core. That's it, into your warrior. Perfect. And then sweep up and round here. Lifting up. And then back arm comes up and round, so a little side angle. Create that space. So maybe just lift the chest a little bit more, lift the head. Keep the pelvis, ribcage and skull in a nice alignment here if you can. Look at the hand to focus, or bring your gaze to somewhere where you feel stable. And then you can enjoy these nice little rotations here. I really love these. Create a little bit of energy and mobility. Softening, bringing everything back into center. Little fire mudra. Down, reminding us to keep that strength within. Open up. Easeful. Spacious. Chest opener here. So bring the fingers together, wave the spine long, really open out through the collarbones and just keep that core support as you wave like the ocean to come down through the center of the body. Enjoy this movement, everyone. You don't have to come as low as me, it could be just halfway. Any range of movement is good. Bend the knees. That's it. Keep the fingers interlaced if you can. Hands don't need to be touching. And then coming back to a little bit of wildness now as we move through a waving little ninja wild moment here. So bringing out that feminine nature. Can you express yourself here? Any movement is welcome. Bring your palms to the center. Bring the feet in, shuffle them in nice and easeful there, and just bring yourself back to balance. Open out, take a breath, and now you're going to balance and lift one knee. See how we feel with that one. Just balance, pressing down through one foot, lifting up through the other. Do it again, just last time on each side. Draw to center. Keep this easeful, graceful. Even though you may not feel graceful, just do whatever you can. Reaching up, inhale, and then just massage yourself. Sliding your hands all the way down through the front of your body and maybe coming up through the back of the body. Just give yourself a bit of love here. To the lower back, sides, reaching up. Connect the palms together. If you wanted to move into any Shavasana, feel free to do so. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, everyone, and I'll see you again soon.